Hey everyone, Jeremy Peterson here with Vesta Real Estate in Ogden, Utah. Wanted to give you a market update. It's been a minute since our last update, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about house prices. There has been a lot of hand-wringing and a lot of commentary about house prices, unaffordability, people waiting for house prices to come down or rates to drop or both, and it's been a long waiting game. And I want to talk a little bit kind of about what's happening, what that means for buyers, and what that looks like right now. I mean, they probably feel it intuitively, but I want to talk some numbers with you. But first, let's talk about house prices and what they're doing. Let's go ahead and look at our first chart. This chart shows that after our 2022 drop, the cold bucket of ice water that was dumped on the market when rates increased. Prices have been kind of choppy, but they've been trending upward since that time. If we look at inflation-adjusted prices, you can see that house prices in real terms have been moving mostly sideways since their initial drop in 2022. It means things are stable, but it doesn't help our affordability equation at all. And in looking at that, I wanted to talk about what are buyers going to do? What do buyers have to do to get into a home? So recently we put a home that we own up for sale at 599 8th Street in Ogden. We listed it at $365,000 basically, and we got an acceptable offer. The home's under contract now, but this is a rental property for us, and we rent this home out. It's a 3-bed, 2.5 bath, fully renovated, beautiful little Art Deco cottage. And we rent this out for about $1,575. Now, it's gone under contract, and I wanted to know what the payment would be on the property at current rates with the market price. When we do the math on that, it turns out that the payment is about $2,300 a month. And that's to take ownership of that property. That's with a 3.5% down payment. So coming in with about $12,000 down. And that would get that buyer a $2,300 house payment. If we look at the difference between rents and that monthly payment, it kind of gives us an idea of the difference between the standard of living between a renter and an owner. And it turns out that renters have a higher standard of living than owners right now, based on their incomes. So one of the rules we have in property management is that a tenant has to earn 3 times the rent each month in order to qualify to rent. That's a healthy financial ratio. So at $1,575, a tenant would have to earn about $57,000 a year to qualify to rent this space, or at least the household would have to make that much money. In order to buy the home, the buyer's going to need to qualify for about $84,000 a year in household income to buy the same home. So you have people with a higher household income that can afford the same kind of property as a renter making 45% less in income. That's the gap that people have to overcome in making the decision to buy and own a property. So the incentives right now are for people to rent and have a much more extravagant lifestyle with bigger homes and better locations rather than owning. However, the problem is that this lack of ownership is creating it has all kinds of consequences for the community and society in general, because people don't have any skin in the game. Why would you care about a neighborhood or about a school or a community if you're just going to be there for a year and then move on somewhere else? And so buyers have to be prepared for basically a decrease in their standard of living if they're moving from renting to owning. Is be ready for that jump into a smaller space to stake claim to it. Now, I have strong reasons to believe that we are not going to see house prices drop. What we need to fix this problem is a huge increase in productivity that would boost wages while keeping interest rates high and house prices where they're at in real terms, and let people's incomes catch up to what house prices are at. A productivity boom would do that for us. I don't see where that's coming from at the moment, though. And so in the meantime, ownership is a huge blessing to those who take advantage of it. You get tax advantages, you plant roots in a community, and you actually have an asset that will probably be increasing in value into the future, because we simply are not building enough inventory to bridge the gap, and it's likely that we're not going to for the foreseeable future. Sure, there's enough apartment buildings being built out there, and there's these huge complexes, but that's just creating, in my opinion, a peasant class that's going to be stuck in there. And who wants to be a renter for their entire life, right? So do what you can to become a homeowner. Be prepared to sacrifice to do it, but in the long term, it'll be great for you. If you are looking for strategies to get into a home, want to talk more about numbers and what it would take for you specifically to get into a property, give me a call. Thanks.